purple horizons. The Earth Interstellar Embassy glowed with blue holographic light as Dr. Sarah Chen reviewed her notes for the third time. "This has to be perfect," she whispered to herself. The first alien delegation was arriving in less than an hour, and as the lead xenobiologist, she couldn't afford any mistakes. "You're going to wear a hole in the floor with all that pacing," said Alex, her assistant, leaning against the doorframe with an amused smile. "They're just people from another planet, Dr. Chen. Nothing to worry about." "People with completely different biology, language, cultural norms, and possibly interpretations of diplomacy," Sarah replied, without looking up. "And stop calling me Dr. Chen when we're alone. It makes me feel ancient." Alex laughed. "Sorry, Sarah, habit from the formal briefings." He walked over and placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "You've been studying their transmissions for years. If anyone is prepared, it's you." The embassy alert system chimed softly. "Attention all personnel. Galactic Alliance delegation arriving in Docking Bay 3. Authorized welcome team, please report immediately." Sarah took a deep breath, adjusted her uniform, and nodded to Alex. "Let's make history." The docking bay doors slid open with a soft hiss, revealing the sleek silver craft of the alien delegation. 3 figures emerged, walking with a fluid grace that made them appear almost as if they were floating. The first 2 were tall, with metallic skin that shimmered like polished chrome, but it was the third figure that caught Sarah's attention. The being had skin in varying shades of purple, from lavender at the joints to deep violet across the chest. Small, luminescent patterns traced across their face like constellations. "Welcome to Earth." Commander Renna stepped forward with the practiced ease of a career diplomat. "I am Commander Renna, representing the United Earth Council." The purple alien stepped forward with a slight bow. "I am Kai, representative of the Galactic Alliance. We bring greetings from the 17 worlds." Sarah couldn't help but stare. Their voice had a musical quality, like multiple tones speaking in perfect harmony, and their eyes were deep pools of silver that seemed to reflect starlight. "This is our xenobiology specialist, Dr. Sarah Chen," Commander Renna introduced. "She will be your primary scientific liaison during your stay." Kai turned those silver eyes to Sarah, and something flickered across their expression. "Dr. Chen, I have studied your research on adaptive biology. Quite impressive for someone with limited exposure to interstellar species." Sarah wasn't sure if she should feel complimented or insulted. "Thank you, Representative Kai. I look forward to learning from you as well." As the formal introductions continued, Sarah noticed Kai watching her with an intensity that sent an unexpected shiver down her spine. When their eyes met again, Kai's lips curved into a smile that revealed the slightest hint of pointed teeth. The diplomatic team moved toward the conference room, but Kai lingered behind, falling into step beside Sarah. "Your research suggested a theory about adaptive biology across species. I find it fascinating." "It's just a theory," Sarah replied, feeling suddenly self-conscious. "Without actual samples from other worlds, it was mostly speculative." "Not as speculative as you might think," Kai said, their voice lowering slightly. "Perhaps we could discuss it further after the formal meetings. I find Earth's diplomatic rituals rather tedious." Sarah smiled despite herself. "I thought I was the only one who felt that way." "I believe, Dr. Chen," Kai said with another flash of those slightly pointed teeth, "we may have more in common than either of our worlds might expect." As they entered the conference room, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that her life had just changed irrevocably. And stranger still, she wasn't afraid at all.
Forbidden Protocol. The embassy gardens provided a rare moment of tranquility away from the endless diplomatic meetings. Sarah sat on the bench, surrounded by Earth's botanical specimens, arranged alongside experimental alien flora from the 17 worlds. "I see you found my favorite spot." Kai's melodic voice came from behind her. Sarah turned quickly, almost dropping her tablet. "Representative Kai, I didn't hear you approach." "Please, just Kai," they said, sitting beside her with fluid grace. "We've spent enough time together to move beyond titles, don't you think?" 3 weeks had passed since the delegation's arrival, and Sarah found herself increasingly assigned to work directly with Kai. Their scientific exchanges had grown from formal to friendly, though Sarah noticed Kai avoided certain topics about their physiology. "The botanical integration project is impressive." Kai gestured to a luminescent purple flower that pulsed gently in the artificial light. "Your Earth plants have adapted remarkably well to sharing soil with alien species." "Life finds a way to connect," Sarah replied, watching how the light played across Kai's purple skin, creating patterns that seemed to shift with their emotions. "That's what fascinates me about xenobiology, the universal constants amid infinite diversity." Kai turned those silver eyes to her. "And what do you see when you look at me, Sarah? A scientific curiosity, or something more?" The directness of the question caught her off guard. "I see someone who deliberately redirects my scientific questions about their biology," she said with a small smile. "And yes, something more." Kai's expression shifted subtly. "There are protocols among my people about sharing certain information, particularly with species newly introduced to the galactic community." "The containment protocol. I know. I've read the diplomatic briefs." "What you haven't read," Kai leaned closer, their voice dropping, "is that some protocols exist to protect your people rather than ours." Sarah felt her heart rate increase at Kai's proximity. "Are you dangerous, Representative?" "Only if you wish me to be," Kai replied, with that hint of pointed teeth Sarah had noticed at their first meeting. The tension between them was interrupted by the embassy alert system. "Dr. Chen, please report to the medical bay, diplomatic code 7. Kai straightened immediately. "That's the biological emergency protocol." They rushed to the medical bay together, finding Commander Rena waiting with a grave expression. "One of the delegation has fallen ill, Dr. Chen. We need your expertise, immediately." Inside the quarantine field, one of Kai's chrome-skinned companions lay trembling with an alarming pallor to their normally metallic skin. "What happened?" Sarah asked, already pulling on protective gear. "Nutritional deficiency," Kai said tensely. "We require certain elements not found in Earth cuisine. I've authorized an emergency transport of supplies from your ship, but we need Dr. Chen to stabilize the ambassador until they arrive." Sarah worked through the night, monitoring vital signs unlike anything in medical literature. Kai remained beside her, providing crucial information about their biology that clearly violated the containment protocol. As dawn broke, the crisis passed. The ambassador stabilized after receiving specialized nutrients from the Galactic Alliance ship. "You saved their life," Kai said, as they watched the ambassador rest. "Thank you." "I was just doing my job," Sarah replied, exhausted but relieved. "No," Kai touched her hand gently, sending an unexpected warmth through her skin. "You were doing more. You've seen beyond our differences." Commander Rena entered with a stern expression. "Representative Kai, a word, please. There appear to have been unauthorized disclosures of protected biological information." As Kai stepped away, Sarah overheard Rena's hushed warning. "The Council is concerned about your interactions with Dr. Chen. Personal attachments compromise diplomatic objectivity." "With respect, Commander, Dr. Chen's understanding of our biology just saved a life. Some protocols may need reconsideration." Later, Sarah found Kai alone in the observation dome, watching Earth's sunset. "Is everything all right with Commander Rena?" She reminds me that there are boundaries between our worlds that some believe should remain uncrossed. What do you believe, Sarah? Sarah moved closer until she stood beside Kai, their reflections merging in the glass dome. I believe understanding begins when we're brave enough to cross those boundaries. Kai turned to her, their silver eyes reflecting the sunset. And are you brave, Dr. Chen? Only for the right reasons, Sarah whispered, as Kai's hand found hers in the fading light. I must show you something no human knows about my kind, but once I do, there's no returning to the safety of our diplomatic facades. Are you certain? Sarah looked at their joined hands, purple skin against her own, and made her decision. I'm certain.
Crimson Secrets. The restricted laboratory access required Sarah's highest clearance codes. Kai had insisted on complete privacy for what they needed to share. ARIA, secure this room, please. Sarah spoke to the embassy's AI system. Authorization Chen Delta 9. Laboratories secured, Dr. Chen. Aria's calm voice replied. Privacy protocols engaged. All recording devices deactivated. Kai stood in the center of the room, their purple skin seeming darker in the dimmed lighting. What I'm about to share violates every protocol my people have established with New Worlds, they said, their silver eyes intense. But I trust you, Sarah. Whatever it is, it stays between us. Kai nodded slowly. My species, the Noravi, we appear similar to your kind, but our biology is fundamentally different. They hesitated. We require a substance for survival that most civilizations find disturbing. The nutritional deficiency from yesterday, Sarah asked. Related, yes. Kai turned away, looking out at the stars. We require hemoglobin, or its equivalent from compatible species. We consume blood, Sarah. The revelation hung in the air between them. Like vampires, Sarah whispered, then immediately regretted the comparison. Surprisingly, Kai smiled. Your folklore is remarkably accurate in some ways, though we don't fear sunlight or religious symbols, and we certainly don't turn into bats. So the pointed teeth I noticed? Vestigial, mostly. Our modern methods are more civilized. We use medical extraction devices, but the basic need remains. Sarah's scientific mind raced with questions. How often? How much? Are humans compatible? Once every 14 Earth days, approximately 1 unit by your medical standards. Kai's expression grew serious. And yes, humans are compatible, perhaps too compatible. Our preliminary studies suggest human hemoglobin is exceptionally nutritious for my kind, which is why this information is restricted. It could lead to exploitation. But the ambassador yesterday tried to adapt completely to Earth nutrition out of diplomatic courtesy, a dangerous mistake. The synthetic supplements we brought are sufficient for short visits, but extended stays require the real substance. Sarah processed this information with scientific detachment. That explains the cultural protocols, the restricted medical data. That's why you were assigned as the primary contact with humans while the others remained distant. Kai nodded. I was selected for my control, my ability to resist certain instinctual responses. And have you been taking supplements during your stay? Sarah asked, suddenly concerned. Kai's hesitation answered before their words did. My supply is depleted. I miscalculated the mission duration. That's why you're telling me now. You need help. I would never ask, Kai said quickly. I'll return to our ship. And abandon the diplomatic mission? Create an interstellar incident? Sarah shook her head. There are alternatives. No, Kai's voice became firm. I won't feed on a human, especially not you. The implication that she had been considered made her pulse quicken. There are blood banks, medical reserves, which would require explanation, documentation, Kai countered. Commander Rena already suspects too much. Sarah made a decision, reaching for a medical kit. Then we create our own supply. Untraceable. No, Sarah. Kai moved with startling speed, catching her hand. You don't understand what you're offering. I understand perfectly, she replied steadily. I'm offering a scientific solution to a biological problem. It's more than that. Kai's voice dropped lower. The process creates a connection. For my people, it's intimate. Sarah felt heat rise to her cheeks. Oh, now you understand my reluctance. Kai released her hand, stepping back. In my culture, this would be considered quite forward. Despite the seriousness, Sarah couldn't help laughing. So, vampirism with consent is basically first base for your people? Kai's expression softened with amusement. Something like that, yes. Well then, Sarah said, reaching again for the medical kit with newfound confidence. Consider this a diplomatic exchange, cultural understanding, and all that. As she prepared the extraction equipment, Kai watched with an intensity that made her hands tremble slightly. This will sting, she warned, pressing the collection device against her arm. Sarah, Kai said her name like a prayer, you are either the bravest human I've met or the most foolish. She smiled as the device collected a unit of blood. I told you before, only for the right reasons. When she handed Kai the sealed medical container, their fingers brushed, sending an unexpected charge between them. In my culture, this creates a bond, not unlike your concept of sharing blood with family. And is that what we are now? Family? Kai's silver eyes darkened. No, Sarah, they whispered. We are something entirely else.
Twilight Trust. Sarah's lab became their sanctuary away from suspicious eyes. Isabel, her trusted colleague, was the only one they'd confided in. You're playing with fire, Sarah, Isabel whispered while monitoring Kai's improving vitals. If Commander Rena discovers what's happening, she won't, Sarah replied, watching Kai's color deepen to rich purple again. Arya is keeping our meetings private. Indeed, Dr. Chen, the AI confirmed. Though I should note, unauthorized biological exchanges violate Embassy Protocol 16. Kai sat up, strength visibly returning. Your AI disapproves of me. Arya's programmed for caution, Sarah explained, sitting beside Kai, their shoulders touching. But she's also programmed for discretion. Fortunate for us, Kai murmured, their hand finding Sarah's. The connection has begun. I can sense your emotions now. Isabel raised an eyebrow. That wasn't in your report, Dr. Chen. Sarah felt warmth spread through her body from Kai's touch. Some details were omitted for privacy. I should give you two some space, Isabel said, heading for the door. Just remember the delegation meeting in 2 hours. When they were alone, Kai's silver eyes met Sarah's. What you've done for me goes beyond diplomacy, beyond science. I know, Sarah whispered, leaning closer. Their first kiss was gentle, tentative, exploring the strange sensation of alien lips against human. The second was anything but. Later, breathless, Sarah rested her head against Kai's chest, listening to the strange rhythm of their three-chambered heart. Commander Rena has requested genetic samples from our delegation, Kai said, breaking their comfortable silence. "Cooper from security informed me. She suspects something." Sarah sat up, alarmed. She kept forced medical procedures without consent? "She claims Earth's security concerns." Kai's expression darkened. "This goes beyond you and me, Sarah. If Earth discovers our needs, they may reconsider the alliance. Fear makes even reasonable beings irrational." "Then we need a plan," Sarah said, determination replacing fear. Between stars. The diplomatic summit arrived with tension thick in the air. Sarah, Cooper, and Alex had worked through the night preparing contingencies. "Final security sweep complete," Cooper confirmed through their encrypted channel. "Commander Rena has authorized genetic scanning of all delegates without their knowledge." "That violates at least 6 interstellar treaties," Alex muttered, adjusting the signal jammer disguised as standard equipment. Sarah watched Kai across the chamber, engaged in conversation with Earth officials. "Aria status?" Sarah asked. "Loop footage engaged, Dr. Chen. Sensors will show normal readings for Representative Kai." As dignitaries gathered for the treaty signing, Sarah noticed Commander Rena watching Kai with naked suspicion. "It's time," Sarah whispered into her communicator. Across the room, Isabel accidentally spilled ceremonial wine on Rena's uniform, creating momentary chaos. Sarah slipped a data crystal to the chrome-skinned ambassador while everyone's attention was diverted. "Give this to the Alliance Council, the full truth, including what happened here." The ambassador nodded slightly. "You've taken great risks for one not of your kind." "For the right reasons," Sarah replied, her eyes finding Kai's across the room. As Commander Rena returned, adjusting her stained uniform, the treaty signing proceeded. The document would establish Earth's first official alliance with the 17 worlds. Later, as celebrations continued, Sarah found Kai in their spot in the observation dome. "The Alliance ships depart tomorrow," Kai said without turning. "My mission concludes." "And what about us?" Sarah asked, the question that had haunted her for days. Kai turned, those silver eyes reflecting starlight. "I've requested a permanent diplomatic position on Earth," they said. "And the Alliance has approved on one condition." "Which is?" "That I share the full truth of our biology with Earth's Council, not just what I need, but why the connection between us matters. It would mean exposing everything." "Everything?" "That when my kind shares blood, we form bonds, more than friendship, more than what humans call love. A connection that spans distance, time, even death." Kai's voice softened. "I would be tying my life to yours, Sarah, in ways your science has yet to discover." Sarah looked at their joined hands. "And if I said yes?" "Then we face whatever comes together, between worlds, between stars," Kai replied. Sarah smiled, reaching up to trace the constellation patterns on Kai's purple face. "I told you once I was brave for the right reasons. You are the right reason." As their lips met, Earth's sun set behind them, and somewhere in the vast chamber, the newly signed treaty glowed with promise, not just between worlds, but between two beings who had crossed the stars to find each other. Cooper, watching from a discreet distance, smiled and whispered into his communicator. "Operation Starlight complete. Tell Isabel and Alex they can stand down. Our friends have found their way home." And in the deepening twilight, Sarah and Kai held each other close, their shadows merging into one between the worlds they both called home.